Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer getting set to kick off the stakes action on Whitney Saturday with race number 5 at the Spa. It's the Grade 1 Personal Ensign featuring the sensational Midnight Beezu. Before we get to the analysis, let me remind you to head on over to DRF's dedicated Saratoga landing page for the Saratoga Handicapping Shop, where you'll find PPs, picks, clock reports, and betting strategies. They're the must-have tools to win big at Saratoga. Learn more at drf.com/spa. Here's the field for the Grade 1 Personal Ensign fillies and mares going 9 furlongs at hallowed Saratoga. Midnight Beezu, Mike, 2 to 5 on the morning line. She is as deserving a favorite as you're going to get at the Spa.
Yeah, I mean, she's just supposed to be, really hard to beat here. She tries to defend her Personal Ensign title, Dan. I mean, there are no other Grade 1 winners in the field at this point. So we'll see if somebody can step up and make a race out of this thing.
And as we look at the Timeform US pace projector, it appears Midnight Beezu, according to Timeform US, has more tactical speed than her main competition on paper. Both Vexatious and A Point of Honor like to come from out of it. Timeform US has Midnight Beezu sitting right off Motion Emotion, a horse that she just blew away last time out in the Fleur-de-Lis.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty adaptable, Midnight Beezu is. They like to take her off the pace early in her races, Dan. I don't think she's going to be outrunning here. Maybe Motion Emotion gets loose on the lead, but that's not going to be enough to get that horse to the winner's circle, I don't think.
The number 1, Abounding Joy, back in June, made her first start off a 6-month layoff and had the misfortune to find herself in the same optional claiming race as Guarana when that one made her return to the races. Guarana is one of the better filly and mare sprinters in the country, so Abounding Joy really wasn't embarrassed that day. She came back and the connections found a really nice spot for her at Prairie Meadows. Let's watch the Iowa Distaff, where she got up close to the pace, a nice trip, and she has to work against these horses, but she gets it done. It's her first stakes victory. She'll have to improve by leaps and bounds to take down the champ.
Yeah, I mean, this was a fine effort for her. At least, in some ways it proved that she can go 2 turns in a route of ground, which she hadn't proven before. She's still in probably way over her head here.
Motion Emotion ran some really nice races at Oaklawn Park as a 3-year-old filly. You could argue she was best in either one or both of the Honeybee and the Fantasy. She did just all the dirty work on the front end and was pipped at the wire. But after the Kentucky Oaks, it didn't seem like she came back to form. She at least showed a little bit of that speed last time out in the Fleur-de-Lis, tracking Serengeti Empress early. But by the time she was ready to pounce, here came Midnight Beezu. Motion Emotion, all things considered, a good, albeit well-thrashed second.
Yeah, she was well thrashed. That's a good way to put it. I'm happy to see a race where they could finally make the lead with her again, Dan, because I do feel like that's probably her best running style. I just don't see the race that makes her a winner in here.
Do you think they just put the pedal to the metal and go here? I can't imagine, even if she gets to the lead and they drop the anchor, let's say, and go 49 to the half, that she's going to be able to outsprint the big 3. Certainly not the big 1. But would you just go out and just say, listen, try to catch me. I do have that big speed.
I mean, I'm a fan of them riding horses like that. It seems like they never do it anymore. But, again, I'd love to see them try that, Dan. I don't think it's going to matter in this case.
Midnight Beezu had such a sensational campaign last year. 7 wins from 8 starts. The only defeat in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. She has picked up right where she left off. Great effort in the Saudi Cup behind Maximum Security. That was just a sensational performance. And then she came back in the Fleur-de-Lis. And listen, the Beyer speed figure only came back in 93. We know she can run much faster than that. It was just the way she did it. They were going very fast early. Mike Smith had Midnight Beezu in the clear, and she just cruised past everybody. And Smith was just a passenger.
Yeah, true enough. I mean, I think the short comment captures it pretty well. 1 for fun. That's kind of what it looked like in there. And you know what, Dan? This field's a little tougher. It doesn't get that much tougher for her, though, in this spot. I guess she's just sort of biding her time at this point until she gets to meet up with Monomoy Girl again. And we'll see when that matchup materializes, hopefully soon. I mean, I don't just want to concede the race to her, but she's supposed to be really, really hard for this field to beat.
Vexatious ran really well at Saratoga last year in the summer colony going this distance, and she made Blue Prize work very hard that day. And Blue Prize came back, of course, to win the Spinster, and then Blue Prize beat Midnight Beezu in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. While her fortunes trended upward, Vexatious didn't run back to that form until her most recent start. And maybe she just runs to the level of her competition, Mike, because let's watch the Grade 2 Ruffian. She's taking on Monomoy Girl. And all Monomoy Girl's done in her career is win the Kentucky Oaks, the Breeders' Cup Distaff, and lots more. She tried very hard, Vexatious. She followed Monomoy Girl's cover. I think the connections have to be pleased with the effort she is showing here. She's just not in Monomoy Girl's league.
Yeah, she ran really well in this race. I think Monomoy Girl, I want to say 104 buyer for this performance, and Vexatious just sort of hung right with her all through the stretch. She couldn't gain any ground there, but she didn't lose any. I thought she ran pretty well there. I agree with you. I thought her race up here over course and distance last summer was a really good performance too. I mean, I think she's mildly interesting if you're looking to bet against the favorite. I just wasn't looking to bet against the favorite.
Bossy Bride, the number 5. Let's just say this is a reach for Rob Actress. This is a horse stepping up off of a victory against 50,000 starter allowance foes. We'll watch that race right now. She wins the race rather easily. This buyer speed figure came back 70. She likes a wet track. She won't mind at all if the skies open up on Saturday, even if they do, and she gets a chance to run on her preferred surface. She probably has to run a buyer speed figure 30 points faster than she's ever run before in order to win.
Right. I mean, I don't have anything to add to that. It has the feeling of a horse who got hustled into this race.
Point of Honor is the number 6, and this is a filly that really appreciates the 1.125 It's going to hit her right in between the eyes. She won the Black-Eyed Susan at this distance last year. She ran really well in the Coaching Club behind Guarana. She ran well in the Alabama going 1.25 miles behind Dunbar Road, and you still get the feeling that she has some upside potential. Let's watch the Ogden Phipps, her third start of 2020. Now, this is a one-turn route. I think she's better at a 2-turn 9 furlongs than at this 1-turn mile and a 16th. I don't know, Mike. It looked like she's a Julie's number. She's a Julie's going to fight back to her inside, and now all of a sudden Point of Honor starts running again. Seemed like she ran in spots in this race, and she needs a little pace up front.
Yeah, just grinding through the stretch of this race, and then she just missed at the end. All in all, I wasn't thrilled with that performance. That I thought she'd run a lot better than that. But I also agree with you. I feel like stretching back out, getting a little more ground, and getting around 2 turns, I think that helps her in this race. To me, you know, if I was going to try and beat Midnight Beezu, I would do it with Point of Honor. I realize her running style is not great, and she's going to have to do it from last. But I do think she could take a step forward at some point this year, and maybe she'll do it on Saturday. I'm not going to try and beat Midnight Beezu, but if I did, I'd try to beat her with Point of Honor.
Well, let's take a look at our top picks for the personal Ensign. Midnight Beezu is going to be very, very tough to beat. Vexatious, though, occasionally runs a good race, and she just popped that 100 buyer speed figure. And I'm curious to see how she'll do getting back to Saratoga. This might be a very tactical rider's race. While Vexatious on the Timeform US pace projector is expected to be behind Midnight Beezu early, I think she has enough tactical speed where if she wants to go and sit just off motion emotion, maybe she can do so. I'm pretty sure she'll be eyeballing Midnight Beezu. Listen, she hasn't been able to take down Blue Prize. She hasn't been able to take down Monomoy Girl. Maybe she won't be able to take down Midnight Beezu, but I'd like her as the third choice.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I do agree that she's run some really good races. She has a really hard time finding the winner's circle. But she has run some really good races, and her recent form is not bad.
But Midnight Beezu, the star of the show, one of the stars of the day. Your top selection in here. You're not interested in trying to beat her. Mike's going Midnight Beezu. Vexatious Midnight Beezu for me. It's the Grade 1 personal Ensign. It's race number 5 at the Spa on Whitney Saturday, and it boasts an approximate post time of 3:28 Eastern. Best of luck.